Hi, Innate fam. Macy here, Innate Illumination here. Let's take a few conscious connected breaths to really just be here in this present moment, calling in all of my spirit guides, calling in yours, and may the light in me see the light in you, may the light in you see the light in me. This is going to be a message of hope, a message of clarity, and it's going to be a message of uplifting energy amidst chaos, and we'll get there. I'm going to go ahead and do some Reiki so that our energies can intertwine through love and connection and understanding, and really just open up a gateway for you to receive this message, and for me to be open to receiving as well when it comes to this mutual interaction and exchange of energy, and may it be pure. When I say pure, I don't mean perfect, I just mean authentic. All right. Hon shaze shonen, 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 hon shaze shonen. All right, taking 3 to 5 conscious connected breaths and really just dropping into the body if in case you went anywhere throughout your day, throughout your night, wherever you are. Being in this present moment, even if it feels uncomfortable. Even if feelings of uncomfortability are moving through. And one more conscious connected breath. But hey, as humans, we're able to experience a plethora of a spectrum of emotions. So for me, feelings of uncomfortability as well as feelings of excitement, feelings of the unknown, of mystery, feelings of, I'm getting chills, feelings of newness. This newness that may seem a little bit uncomfortable because it is so unknown or unfamiliar, I would say, at this current time. It's this familiarity that is within. So it's like there is some type of familiarity with this connection. It's just, it hasn't been tapped into in quite some time, or it's come in little spurts. So, all right, uncomfortability, chaos. It is Aries season. And when I tap into each astrological zodiac sign, I like to touch on all aspects of it. And when I mean shadow aspects and light aspects, they're really interchangeable because they're an infinity of a cyclical nature of both energies. So there isn't any separation between the two. It's like a pendulation, just like what happens with emotions, and a lot of different things when it comes to even fight or flight, coming into a fight or flight and then going back to a neutral state. That is what I help guide people to do through introspective breathwork therapy as well, and help to regulate the nervous system when it does go into that state, and to move back into a neutral state naturally, and when the body feels supportive to do so. So anyway, Aries season. The sun moved into Aries yesterday, and the moon had also moved into a fire sign of Sagittarius. So I feel like there's this energy of adventure, of doing something new, a lot of movement, a lot of fast energy. Like, are we already almost about to reach the fourth month of the year? Like, does anyone else feel like time is moving at a different kind of pace? In combination with a lot of air energy, there's like air is being added to the fire. And I feel like if y'all are watching this, my intention with this message is for people to see it when they're ready. And honestly, to protect this message from anyone who's not meant to see it. Yeah. Aries is ruled by Mars, and Mars can be so many different things. Just like each zodiac has a spectrum of characteristics. Aries energy, my experience of it is forward moving, action driven, determined, focused on exactly where they want to go. And even if it's like a little bit unknown, there's just this move to keep moving forward. And I feel like a lot of people are moving out of hermit mode. Like, you're moving out of hermit mode, and like there's been this planning going on, like I mentioned in a previous message, the lunar eclipse in Virgo. That planning energy is definitely following along into this solar eclipse in Aries, which is literally opening up a portal for action. The door is opening, the portal is here, and there's also this energy, as I get chills, there's this energy of continuing to be in hermit mode when you feel like it supports you most, when you feel like you're no longer running away from the problem, because sometimes running away is also immersing yourself in a bunch of different activities and energy in order to avoid something. So in not attending a family get-together, that could be quite literally sitting in the uncomfortability or feelings of uncomfortability moving through of what it means to actually draw your energy back in, and to stop a cycle or a pattern of continuing to give out energy that is not reciprocated. And I also feel like if you have recently been given an invitation in the form of confrontation, an invitation to leave something, to end something, to do something new, to approach something in a new way. Again, use your discernment with this entire message. What I'm receiving is there may be energies that are really wanting things to stay the same out of their fear of anything changing, their fear of not keeping the peace. And you've already broken that cycle, and you're about to make a decision that may break the peace. And even in doing so, you know that the false foundation that you once relied on is being potentially pulled out from under you due to this decision. Yet you feel in your heart of hearts that it's the right decision for you, and that the longer you hold on to something that is not yours and allow your power to be given away, you know that this decision needs to be made. And you've probably been getting a lot of signs. For me, it's been a lot of blackbirds, a lot of crows, a lot of vultures, blackbird, grosbeaks, I believe they're called. Just a lot of death energy, a lot of quite literally facing something in a way where when you cut off certain activities, it may also mean distancing yourself from a group of people, and that may not feel very comfortable, especially because for so long in your past anyway, it's almost as if, not almost as if, yeah, like there's just been this sense of like, as long as I keep the peace, X, Y, and Z, but it's become a detriment to your mental health, your physical health, and you, at some point, I feel like made a promise to yourself that you wouldn't do that again, and in doing so, you knew that hard decisions were going to be made. And I feel like that's what we're sitting in right now, is that. And yeah, this entire message is going to be about tapping into your fire, your power, your inner will, your confidence, tapping into that Aries energy, and practicing how to build the inner fire within you, how to keep your house warm, how to keep your soul warm, your eternal flame, and how to draw your energy back in so that your eternal flame doesn't go out again. Because I feel like at one time in your life, it was so dim that you didn't know if you were going to live or not, whether that was a combination of mental health, physical health, or a combination of the two. It's like these practices have been implemented on small scale levels, and even like looking at the overall picture, it's huge. Like the change that you've been making is huge. So I'm not going to like, y'all don't play small on that. Like, know that even if they have been on small scales, in the overall scheme of things, the whole picture, like where you were to where you are now is exponential growth. And what's so beautiful about these changes is that I feel like it's helped prepare you to make these bigger decisions that probably have already been made and are about to actually be manifested in your physical reality. I know that there's still a lot of mystery because it still feels like there's so much against you, but I feel like the perspective on that has changed. Like nothing is actually against you, that things are happening for you and not to you, and that any failure or any redirection is a divine redirection, one that is only leading you to a path that serves your highest good and that is keeping you away from paths that don't. And even in the desperate nature of really trying to cling on to some sort of safety, it's almost as if having this false sense of safety be pulled out from under you is really allowing you to build what a real sense of safety is within you, and continuing to create that in your reality, in your physical reality. And it may seem a little bumpy at first, like it feel like we've been under construction for quite some time, and the path is clearing, the storm is clearing, and it's now in receiving that you are worth having pleasure in all areas of your life, that you are worth being seen, you are worth having safe space held for you, you are worth being understood, you are worth being loved, and you are worth having conscious connections with others. You are worth being a leader. You are worth creating what you want to create. Again, this is going to be a super uplifting message because I feel like sometimes right before the clouds clear is when it can get the heaviest. And I'm feeling like I'm not the only one who's in that phase right now. And I know that there's this sense that like it's not going to last forever, that everything is temporary. And like the body can feel this new beginning already, and the mind is trying to make sense of it because it's like, wait, I'm still where I'm at. So like, how am I going to get from there to there? Continue to have faith, whether you pray, whether you meditate, whether you have rituals, talking to your spirit guides, journaling, whatever that is. Continue to do that. Continue to draw your energy in when you feel called to. If there's any mistakes that happen, mistakes are never really mistakes. They're just learning lessons saying, okay, wow, yeah, I feel a little drained from that. Why is that? Just being curious about some of the decisions that are being made. You know what I mean? I also feel like recently, even though I feel like there's been this mental understanding of the victim triangle and being outside of it, I feel like there's been this really big shift recently where you've realized that you've begun to take responsibility for how you've kept yourself in this victim triangle. I know that's hard to hear. I know it is hard to hear because I myself have moved through this and am moving through this where it's like by continuing to stay in this environment, it perpetuates an idea that maybe I'm not worthy enough, or I can't do hard things, or like kind of just like this space or energy of lack, or also like this energy of having people need to take care of me or feel sorry for me. And that's not who I am. Confirmation burp. And even in removing myself from a family get-together, there may be people who want to cling on to your energy because you are such a light, you are such a beacon of hope, and it's almost doing them a disservice because you are not allowing a pure exchange of energy. I'm hearing in some of these situations where, as good as the initial intent is, it's like this external validation for your presence is doing a disservice to anyone who maybe is moving through something that actually needs to sit with that themselves. And I'm hearing a lot of let them talk, let them misunderstand you, let them, all of that. If you need any protective energy rituals, DM me. If you need any clarity rituals, any grounding rituals, I know this is a lot of chaotic energy where grounding is super important and just being in the body. Rituals to help sleep, to help maintain just overall mental health wellness. And when I say mental health wellness, it's not always sitting in a comfortable energy. It's really just having the tools and resources to move through uncomfortable emotions and allowing the body to process it. Yeah. And just having conscious movement and breath and finding ways that help you. So, I feel like a lot of the healing modalities out there have been good now about not emotionally bypassing, right? And I feel like a lot of my practices have been a lot of shadow work and moving through all of that. And I've been feeling called lately to to have a little bit of fun. Not a little bit, to have a lot of fun in healing modalities that help to bring out the innate expression within someone, because I feel like that's what I feel called to do, is to hold space and be a guide to bring out people's innate expression. I feel like the way in which I do that is through astrology. And I'm not here to convince you that astrology is real or to put you in a box or put you in a category like, oh, you're an Aquarius? Okay, this is you. No, that is not how I tap into astrology. Astrology for me is a flow of consciousness and a journey that is lifelong, and one that I only focus on the energies that your soul is curious about in this very moment on a one-on-one session and in group sessions. And I really tap into what's currently going on, like Aries season, Mercury retrograde, Venus retrograde, what sign Chiron is in, like anything that's really just like bringing to my attention. Like it could be the big things. It could also be like what's the descendant sign in right now? Or like if I'm feeling called to do shadow work, what's the descendant sign? What's the Chiron sign? You know, what are these shadow aspects? And then there are times where I'm just feeling playful and and really not I need water. Not just wanting to focus or needing to focus on the shadow. Kind of having a balance between the two. As I see 2020. Ooh. And that brings me to a really, really, okay. So I'm seeing a lot of numbers that are consecutive when it comes to like a tie. When it comes to a tie, like 2020, 43, 43, 27, 27, 21, 21. And I'm not a big March Madness fan anymore. But being around family and seeing all these games, literally every single time I look at the television when I'm watching a game, they're tied. Like, it's happened over a dozen times. There is this energy of a balancing out, a divine balancing. It may not be, you know, when some people think about a balance of energies, they think of like, or, you know, I guess I won't project this, but when I used to think of balanced energies as kind of this like idealized energy, right? Where balance is peace, looking from the outside like only bliss, only happiness, only certain types of feelings, or confirmation burp, the expression of specific feelings. And now when I think about balance, I think of a balance between the yin and yang, a balance between the dark and the light. And I tread lightly when I say these words because it's not meant to separate. Words can almost have a tendency to do that if not understood or understood within oneself. Feminine and masculine energies that are balanced between each other are in an infinite loop between each other. Pendulating, again, between one another, and not battling against one another. Yeah. So, with this divine balancing that's happening, now that it is the beginning of the new year, which for me I felt when the Lunar New Year began, it is now spring equinox, and to many, this is the beginning of the new year. I feel like we all feel it differently depending on what we're going through, what timelines we're on, and all of that. I'm going to get to timelines soon because I feel like this is a message that needs to be, spoken about. And maybe I'll make a separate video. Like, I feel like I have so many messages in one that I really want to focus on something specific. So I may leave the timeline, the dreamscape and the interdimensional travel and the timeline message for another video, because I feel like that also needs to be talked about. But yeah, there's this divine balancing that's happening, and when there's a balancing out, there is also a weeding out of energies in order to allow for energies to come in that are in more alignment and balance with what's going on with you. So it may not feel completely comfortable, because a divine balancing can also mean a lot of different things. Like when the earth wants to come into homeostasis, volcanic eruptions happen, earthquakes happen, tsunamis happen, hurricanes happen, tornadoes happen. Not because for the pure, not just for pure destruction. It is a balancing out. I know there's many that may not fully maybe understand that at this time. But let's say there's a big area on Earth that is pulling up oil from Earth's resources, or big areas of deforestation, there may be, and there have been many cases, where a tornado happens to hit that city or town, or a huge mudslide just comes on through and wipes acres out. The earth tries to protect itself as best as it can, and sometimes it means in extreme cases if that energy isn't being honored. And I feel like this is also what's happening with a lot of our timelines, with a lot of our lives, is that if action isn't taken, the universe takes action for us. And I feel like, and there's no shame in the universe taking actions for us as well. It's a learning experience, and learning when to hold on and when to let go. And if that wasn't developed in childhood, like it naturally would, there's been a lot of cases. It's something that I feel like is shifting from common to, in the future, not so common, that that there are cases, including mine, where that development was stunted. And now it seems like I'm moving through my solar plexus individuation phase right now, even though that normally happens between the ages of 14 and 21. I had spurts of that, but I'm actually consciously moving through that now. So there's no shame or guilt that needs to surround and moving through that. You know, if you're noticing things like that, around this transition, around this divine balancing. And divine balancing truly can mean like cutting people off. It can mean breakups. It can mean whatever that means to you. I'm not saying like go and break up with your boyfriend or your girlfriend or your significant other if that doesn't feel supportive to you. Just noticing if there is room for growth when it comes to how much each person relies on someone else in regards to whether it's external validation or codependency or blame, or, you know, what is that? Escape. You know, what dynamics are being played out from pattern to pattern to pattern? Are you seeing that, you know, you are going from relationship to relationship? Are you seeing that you land at your parents like every 3 or 4 years? This is nothing to be ashamed of. These are patterns that I myself am moving through and breaking the cycle of. And that brings me to breaking the cycle in different dimensions, timelines, and realities, which I'm going to get to in the next video. Because ultimately, the change that you are experiencing and that you're moving through is happening on such a larger scale that, like, you are a part of this domino effect. Continue to show up for yourself, even if that means being in hermit mode while you continue to plan to make this move, while you continue to plan to create the life that you're meant to live. And I know you can only be in planning mode for so long. And I know that this jump may happen before you're ready, whether you think that you're not financially ready, whether you think that you're not emotionally ready. Just know that the universe is catching you. Like, it's really teaching a lot of us how to take care of ourselves and be our own mother, be our own father. And that people will come in throughout this journey, throughout this process, that are going to be supportive to you, if that hasn't trickled in already, and that see you for who you are. And it is an equal exchange of energy. And yeah. Is there anything that wants to come through in regards to support messages throughout this? Protection, obsidian. I've got one laying right here. Any forms of protection, whether that's salt at your door, wearing, for me, labradorite is a form of protection, as well as intuitive energy and a guide. Obsidian, smoky quartz. What's the one that's sitting right here? No, not shungite. Yeah, shungite. One that also blocks out a lot of EMF waves. Any protective stones. That can also be a lot of grounding stones, and if you don't have any crystals, go pick up a stone from outside. Like, you can infuse Reiki energy into it. You can infuse your own divine energy into it. Call on your guides, call on these energies that exist within you and all around you, to really draw in your energy and ask for protection during this time, during this transition. Is there anything else? When it comes to this divine balancing, any support, any guidance, any messages that want to come through, and I'm only going to pick up cards that have completely fallen out. Nothing that sticks up, because I know that there's a lot that the universe wants to say, but I also feel like these energies are like, this message needs to be very specific at this time. Gochi Quetzal. Alrighty. The White Buffalo Calf Woman, Hathor, Loki. There's so many different archetypes of this same energy. This is Wild Woman energy. This is the White Buffalo Calf Woman. This is the prophecy that the generation of change, the 7th generation of change in the Lakota tradition, the Lakota tribe, that talks about change, that talks about this divine energy that is born within the 7th generation, that is alive now, and that is being exemplified. And this energy is also, this divine goddess is also an energy that asks us to weigh our heart with that of a peacock feather. How heavy is our heart in this moment, and how can we lighten our hearts? How can we remove what is keeping our heart heavy? How can we just let go of it, regardless of any consequences that may happen, knowing that these consequences are only leading us to a path that is meant for us, a path of peace, a path of acceptance, 3223 as I say this, a path of alignment. And I'm going to read the card for this. Also 12, this is the end of a cycle. Confirmation, Bert. I feel like reading this one. I see beauty in everything. So even during this time, what are you finding that is beautiful? There have been little trickles of beautiful moments throughout even just this, what feels like heaviness moving through. Gochi Quetzal, Xochitl Quetzal, is the Aztec goddess of fertility and household arts, and is deeply connected to the natural world. She is often presented as a beautiful, youthful woman accompanied by a band of colorful birds and butterflies. She is also a patron saint of desire and sexual experiences, embodying the enjoyment of all the beautiful things in the world that the world has to offer. You are moving into this. She says, follow me, because this energy is already within you. You are being called to connect to the beauty and wonder that surrounds you. As the goddess of pleasure, Xochitl Quetzal encourages you to explore what pleasure means and embrace your sensuality. Dance and let your body move freely, and adorn it in ways that feel comfortable and vibrant to you. Encourage yourself to stand out and experience the world through new lenses. You could also spend time outside and observe the colors of nature and how lively they may be. Journal prompt: what does pleasure mean to me? And I feel like I've been redefining that as well, because pleasure for me doesn't mean external validation. That was a temporary pleasure, one that fell short. Pleasure for me is making homemade herbal teas, is foraging, is spending time out in nature, is walking my dogs, is taking herbal baths, is cooking healthy food in the kitchen. It's dancing, it's singing, it's connecting with conscious community, it's reading a really good book, it's wearing what makes me feel good. It's pushing my body and my boundaries in ways that are beneficial to me. Not pushing it in ways that are forceful, but just ways that surprise me and allow me to grow stronger. Pleasure for me also sometimes means moving through emotions, even if they're difficult, and allowing for safe space for them to be released when they're ready to. Pleasure for me also is like diving deep into something that I'm really interested in, whether that's astrology, crystals, mythology. What does pleasure mean for you? Yeah. Peyote. Got an herb. I haven't pulled this one yet out of this deck. Definitely an herb that is opening up to beyond the scene. Affirmation here is, I believe in guidance beyond the material realm. This round, flowering green succulent is small but mighty. Revered by indigenous cultures, peyote has been used for thousands of years to look beyond the realm of the material world. Peyote is calling for you to push the boundaries and accepted norms of separation. It's time to return to oneness and true unity. What you see in society is definitely not all that you get, and you are being encouraged to sit with the power that comes with being able to look beyond the material veil and connect with the upper realms of creation. Close your eyes and envision yourself in the higher planes of existence where all things are connected. With each inhale, allow reassurance to flow through you. And with each exhale, picture your energetic vibration stretching out beyond you. Reassurance. And your energetic vibration stretching out beyond you. Oof. From this state with ease and grace, you can receive guidance to help you break karmic cycles and find pure self-love, compassion, and acceptance. Journal prompt. How do you feel when you take time to nourish your energetic body? Yeah. How do you feel when you take time to do that? Physical releases here. I'm also hearing just because you're connecting to oneness doesn't necessarily mean that it's for everyone around you. And to discern and use your intuition and follow your heart in who has access to your energy and that kind of energy. Yeah, protection, guide, having a light heart, and doing things that make your heart feel good, as well as moving through emotions that maybe be underlying. Ooh, as I'm also seeing Leo. When it comes to the child self, being playful and also noticing if there's any guilt around doing that, around feeling like you're doing nothing, no thing. We're not human beings. We are human beings. We're not human doings. Almost skirt rewind. Yeah. Yep. To anyone who has a Chiron and Leo. Really anyone with a Leo placement, just noticing energies of being curious about if there's anything regarding external validation and what one does to receive that. Is that external validation short-lived, and what does it give you in return? Is it a mutual and equal exchange of energy? Is it a pure exchange of energy? Is it an authentic exchange of energy? And also, when it comes to just play, when it comes to the child self, the inner child, like, are there parts of the inner child that are hurting right now? And just tending to those, holding safe space for those energies, for that energy. And really, for me, I'll be like, hey, I'm here for you right now. Hey, I love you. You're allowed to take up space. You're allowed to express yourself, and you deserve love, and I'm here to love you. I'm here to hold safe space for you. I'm here to tell you that it's okay to express who you are, regardless of who accepts that or not. Are there any more messages that want to come through? Otherwise, really? Okay. Alrighty. This is going to be a longer message than I expected. Okay. Kava Kava. Grounding. How can you ground right now? How can you ground? Kava Kava can be really beneficial in having grounding properties when drinking, when soaked in, when burned in any sort of way. It can also help you connect with 4114 as I'm saying this. A lot of grounding energy. How can you ground, and what practices can help you ground during this time? Because you are moving through a transition, and this showed up upside down because right now it feels like we're in the upside down, Stranger Things. If you know, you know. It feels like Vecna may want to make itself known, but the thing is that Vecna lives within us, and it's in facing it that allows us to quote unquote defeat it. It's not even really a battle. It's more so an integration of the shadow. And it feels like we are in the upside down right now, and that we're moving back into this because it is in fact a natural cyclical nature of pendulation, where sometimes it's in going into the subconscious and in hidden parts of ourselves that allow us to emerge into the physical again in our most authentic expression. And in order to do that, sometimes it means facing Vecna and facing all of the things that we want to avoid, and facing any doubts, fears, even like false version of ourselves that we created for protection, or misconceptions of ourselves, and releasing parts of ourselves that just don't serve us anymore, that may not have ever. So I feel like we're in the process of going back up, you know? And it's in the descent that we ascend. You don't ascend unless you descend. It's a part of the process. So, yeah, this mystic moth goddess that is already within you is being accessed from the upside down, so that when you come up and sprout through the ground, you're going to be an expression of both. And you're already moving through that. Spirit quartz. Your spirit guides are here, and you can call on them whenever you want. For protection, for guidance, for clarity. And sometimes spirit doesn't want to give you all the answers, because it's in the journey that allows you to find the answers yourself. The book, The Alchemist, just popped into my head. That kind of journey, where not all the answers are going to be immediately given to you, because it's in the journey that you discover them. And I feel like this leap is a part of that. This leap is here to tell you that just in taking that leap, you are going to find what you are looking for, and it is looking for you. What you seek is seeking you. And you are protected and you are guided. Aquarius. Pluto in Aquarius right now. The underworld is showing you your true expression. It's literally allowing you to just like like wipe off all the mud, and it's almost as if like, you know, the scene of The Land Before Time, confirmation burp, where Petrie, Ducky, Spike, and Littlefoot emerge out of the gunk, and they look like this monstrous creature, but really underneath they're just them. And they found each other through the muck. You're finding the fragmented parts of yourself while being in the upside down. Like, you're finding the fragmented parts of yourself. And Pluto in Aquarius is about to... Pluto in Aquarius. Oi, 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 oi. I believe is going to be conjunct with Aries, the solar eclipse that's happening with the moon in Aries and the sun in Aries. So if there's action that is being taken in regards to the journey that I feel like for even a few years has been leading you up to this, and really your entire lifetime here on Earth, let's be honest, is leading up to this energy of like an F it kind of energy, where it's like, let them, F it, I'm gonna do this anyway. Rebellious Aquarius. But I feel like it's, if you're watching this, like you've mastered this level of discernment within you that like you're not doing it to like burn everything to, I mean, what's being burned to the ground? The universe is doing that anyway for you. And as you sit in this upside down energy, being asked to ground, and also knowing that that there's so much beyond the scene that I feel like you're continuing to tap into and understand and continue to recognize, that as you're in the upside down, there is this energy of like cosmic flow, like the bringer of emotions in a cosmic way is Aquarius, and bringing this cosmic flow of energy to the physical realm in the form of the planet of the Lord of the Underworld right now. It's making its presence known here first, because one cannot hold the full physical energy of the embodiment of what Aquarius is until it's moved through and integrated through the underworld, through the shadow, through the upside down, through the year of the snake, burrowing into the ground and really facing death head on, facing Vecna head on, facing Skeleton Woman head on, in order to embody this expression in the physical vessel that's the body. So just know this, this turbulence is a natural occurrence. This leveling out, this balancing out of energies. Ooh, I'm also getting with Shochi Getzel that this is also an embodiment of Hathor, Mot, of the balancing scales of justice between the heart and the peacock feather, that in order to embody what Aquarius is asking us to embody in our own unique ways, is the balance between a peacock feather and the heart. May the heart be just as light as a peacock feather. And what actions can be taken to lighten the heart in a way where it's not emotionally bypassing, but it's actually sitting in the underworld with Pluto and Aquarius, asking you to take action in regards to what you've moved through and what you've learned through sitting with this energy. Because the solar eclipse in Aries with the moon and sun in Aries is asking for us to take action in regards to this. What relationships are ready to end that don't serve us, with expressing the embodiment of our unique expression, our unique innate expression. Because Aquarius isn't just rebellious energy, it's unique expression. And unique expression needs safe space to be expressed, and also kind of this like, F it, I'm going to do it anyway energy, regardless of the environment. because continuing to do it anyway will shed who's not meant for you, what is not meant for you, the environments that are not meant for you, so that what comes in this divine balancing between the heart and the peacock feather, between feminine and masculine, between light and dark, between shadow and light, between a physical and the unseen, between the subconscious and the conscious. It is a pendulation. It is not separate. So, last but not least, this is not a card that I pull a lot, but I'm getting, if anyone has seen the scene in Avatar: The Last Airbender when Katara meets the woman, I forget her name, but she pretends to be the woman on the lake. That's just what this looks like for me. Where no matter how much you think you can't embody the divine energy that lives within you, like, you're already doing it. It's just a matter of removing and accepting also to the imperfections, that like the embodiment isn't perfect. Am I saying this correctly? Benzatine, I embrace my creativity, is the affirmation here, pictured with a, again, comment down below if I'm saying these incorrectly, pictured with a biwa or a traditional Japanese lute. Benzatine is a Buddhist goddess of music, water, and knowledge. Water, I was definitely getting water. Katara energy, like I feel like just waterbender energy. She is also known as the muse to all artists and innovators and infuses inspiration into those who choose to connect with her. You're being invited by this divine goddess to create and embrace your inner artist. Embrace whatever form this may take, whether it's fun and playful or as a larger pursuit. Make space to enjoy the experience of creating art without attachment to the outcome of your creative work. There's a tremendous opportunity for creating positive change through spreading your message and unique gifts in artistic forms. As you gain comfort and confidence in your artistic self-expression, use your creativity as a way to innovate and share something special with others. You never know who you may reach with the unique expression of your gifts. Journal prompt: what kind of art would feel good to create? As I was reading this, I immediately heard, make the breathwork videos that you want to make and just put them out on YouTube, because that's truly what I have the most fun doing. I love doing these messages, I really do, and I feel like they're also really healing for me. I also feel like creating my breathwork practices for people as a free resource, also allowing them to tap into their innate expression through astrology and other esoteric topics. I find that to be super creative, not because I'm looking for likes, not because I'm looking for validation. I truly just love creating it. I'm also feeling called to paint. I got a painting back here of a combination between Mott, Hathor, Loki, and yeah, I've been creating these paintings that are a self-exploration of each one of my zodiac placements in my chart. And I'm on my ascendant sign right now. And I have no sense of rushing the process. I'm having so much fun bringing to life these expressions through painting. And yeah, like, what are you feeling called to do that just like you just want to do, not for any reason, but just to want to do it? I'm going to end that message there. I'll get to interdimensional dreamscape traveling on the next one. And with that being said, I love y'all. You got this. This uncomfortable energy moving through this storm that is clearing the path for what's meant for you. I feel like we're at the very end of it. It's the end of a huge karmic cycle. Neptune is about to move into Aries, and this is the end of a 14-year karmic cycle, if not longer. Aries is here to warm us and also burn everything down that isn't warming us, that isn't tending to our eternal flame, to our inner flame, to our inner child, to what supports us most, and for what is for our highest good. So with that being said, I hope that this message comes to you when you need it most, and that you are divinely guided, and that your intuitive expression and knowledge is activated through this message, and that whatever resonates and calls out to you during this message, may it resonate, and may it propel you along on your journey for connecting with your innate expression and continuing to just say, F it, I'm doing this, and I know that it's what's meant for me. Much love to y'all. Until next time.